Your legs are the first part of your body to weaken as you age. But what if you are only giving them 1/3 of what they truly need to be able to stay strong? It is not just about eating more protein. Today, we are not just giving you another list of foods. We are revealing a doctor's blueprint for building the 3 pillars of leg strength. Welcome back to Healthier Daily, the channel where we give you the simple science-backed truths to live a stronger and more independent life after 60. I'm your host, Dr. Ben Carter. And to be our master architect for this important health blueprint, we are joined by a physician who has spent his life teaching the wisdom of building a complete and a holistic foundation for our health. It is our great honor to welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you for having me, Ben. A strong leg is like a strong and a beautiful temple. It must be built upon 3 strong pillars: the pillar of rebuilding, the pillar of fueling, and the pillar of protection. If one of these pillars is weak, the entire structure will begin to crumble. This is so very important. I had a patient, a gentleman who was eating a very high protein diet. He was eating a healthy fish and the eggs every single day, but he still came to me and he said that his legs felt weak and that they were very fatigued all the time. He was only building one of the 3 essential pillars.
And that is exactly what our guide is all about today. Dr. Hinohara is going to walk us through his complete 3-pillar blueprint for true and lasting leg strength. In our journey today, we will learn about pillar number 1, the rebuilding pillar. We will then learn about the often forgotten pillar number 2, the fueling pillar. And finally, we will learn about the absolutely essential pillar number 3, the protecting pillar. It is a true blessing to have this kind of knowledge to be able to understand how to build our health in a complete, a balanced, and a very holistic way. If you are ready to learn how to build your leg strength on all 3 of these essential pillars, please type the number 1 in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. It's completely free, and this is a deep dive into the true foundation of your strength. Okay, doctor, let's begin building our temple of leg strength 1 pillar at a time. Let's start with the first and the most well-known pillar of all. What is pillar number 1? The rebuilding pillar.
Yes, the first pillar is the one that everyone knows, but they often misunderstand its limitations. This is the rebuilding pillar. This pillar is what provides the direct building blocks that our muscles absolutely must have to be able to repair themselves and to grow stronger. And our 2 champion foods for this important pillar are beautiful wild-caught salmon and the perfect pasture-raised egg. And for my patient, the gentleman who was feeling so weak and so tired, this was the only pillar that he was focused on. He was eating a beautiful piece of salmon for his dinner almost every single night, and he would have 2 eggs for his breakfast every morning. He was providing his body with all of the best and most perfect building blocks, but he was still getting weaker. He came to me, and he was very frustrated, and he could not understand why.
And his story is the perfect example of why this 1 pillar, while it is absolutely essential, is not enough on its own to be able to build true and lasting strength. But first, let's explain the beautiful and profound science of why this rebuilding pillar is so very important. Every single time that you use your leg muscles when you walk, when you stand up from a chair, when you are climbing the stairs, you are creating tiny microscopic tears in your muscle fibers. Now, this is a normal and a very healthy process. The feeling of growing stronger comes when your body is able to successfully repair these tiny tears. And in doing so, it builds the muscle back a little bit thicker and a little bit stronger than it was before. To be able to do this important repair work, your body needs the raw materials. It needs the building blocks. And those powerful building blocks are the amino acids that we get from eating high-quality protein.
And the reason that salmon and eggs are the true champions of this pillar is for 2 very important reasons.
That is right. First, they are both what we call complete proteins. This means that they provide all 9 of the essential amino acids that our body cannot make on its own, and they have them in the perfect ratio for building healthy human muscle tissue. And second, as we have discussed so many times on this channel, they are both incredibly rich in that special ignition switch amino acid leucine. And as we now know, it is the leucine that sends the powerful and direct signal to an older person's body to be able to overcome anabolic resistance and to start the important rebuilding process. So the salmon and the eggs are providing the perfect set of building blocks and the perfect signal to start building. Let's talk about the salmon specifically, doctor. What makes it such a powerful food for this pillar?
The salmon is a beautiful food. It provides not only that wonderful complete protein, but as we know, it also provides the powerfully anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. It is a perfect food for the autumn season, a wonderful warming and very nourishing meal for the entire body.
And what about the simple egg, doctor? We often call it nature's perfect protein.
It is. The humble egg is a perfect and a complete package of high-quality protein, of healthy fats, and of so many other important vitamins and minerals that the entire body needs to be able to function well. It is a complete food for rebuilding. But, and this is the most important part of my patient's story, even with all of this beautiful and perfect protein from his daily salmon and his daily eggs, he was still feeling weak. His muscles were still tired and they were still fatigued. He had all of the best building blocks in the world, but as we will see in our very next section, he was missing the other 2 essential pillars. He had no fuel for his muscles, and he had no protection for them.
It is a truly blessed and a very profound lesson to understand that our beautiful bodies need a complete and a holistic system of support, not just one single powerful ingredient. So our rebuilding pillar with the beautiful salmon and the perfect eggs is providing all of the essential protein bricks that our muscles need to be able to repair and to rebuild themselves. But as you so wisely pointed out, doctor, your patient was eating plenty of this high-quality protein, and he was still feeling weak and chronically fatigued. What was he missing? This brings us to the second in the very often forgotten pillar of true leg strength.
Yes, my patient had all of the best and most beautiful bricks, but his construction crew had no energy to be able to do the important work. He was completely missing pillar number 2, the fueling pillar. And the champion food for this very important pillar is the beautiful, the vibrant, and the deeply nourishing sweet potato. And for my patient, this was his great and very common mistake. Like so many people in America today, he was very afraid of eating carbohydrates. He had been told that they would cause him to gain weight. So he was eating a very low carbohydrate diet. But in doing so, he was starving his large and very hard-working leg muscles of their most essential and most preferred source of fuel.
And his story highlights such a critical and a very common misunderstanding that so many seniors have. Let's look at the beautiful science of how our muscles are actually fueled, because this is so important. Your muscles run on a very specific and a very clean type of fuel. It is a stored form of carbohydrate that is called glycogen. You can think of your large leg muscles as being like a powerful and a very beautiful engine. And that engine has its own special fuel tank. The wonderful complex carbohydrates that we get from a beautiful food, like a sweet potato, are what your body uses to be able to fill that fuel tank with clean, high-quality glycogen. But here is the most important part of this entire story. If that fuel tank is empty, your body will be forced to find its energy somewhere else. And very often, it will begin to break down the precious protein from your muscles, and it will convert it into fuel. So by not eating enough of the healthy carbohydrates, my patient was forcing his body to burn the very muscle that he was trying so hard to rebuild with all of his protein. He was building with one hand and he was burning with the other.
So the complex carbohydrates are protein sparing. They help to protect our muscles. Doctor, what makes the sweet potato such a perfect choice for this important fueling pillar?
The sweet potato is a perfect food for three main reasons. First, as you said, its beautiful carbohydrates are very slow burning. They provide your body with a very steady and a very sustained source of energy, and they do this without causing a big and inflammatory sugar spike. Second, as we know, it is incredibly rich in beta-carotene, which our body very intelligently uses to be able to make vitamin A, which is a powerful antioxidant that helps to protect our tissues. And third, it is an absolute powerhouse of the important mineral potassium. And the potassium is so very important for our leg strength. It is the essential mineral that is needed for proper muscle contraction, and it helps to maintain the delicate fluid balance that is inside our muscle cells. A lack of potassium is one of the primary and most common causes of those terrible and very painful leg cramps, especially at night. So the beautiful sweet potato is providing both the fuel for our muscles and the important mineral support for healthy muscle function. It is a perfect and a very comforting food for this beautiful autumn season. It is a truly blessed and a perfect design how this simple and humble root from the earth can provide such a complete and a perfect source of fuel and of nourishment for our bodies. This is such a complete nutritional philosophy, Doctor. We love sharing it with our global community. To help us see our global community, please let us know what city, state, or country you are watching from. We love hearing from all of you. So our first pillar, the rebuilding pillar, provides our muscles with the essential protein bricks. And our second pillar, the fueling pillar, provides them with the clean fuel from complex carbohydrates to be able to do their work. Our temple of leg strength is now almost complete. But doctor, as you have taught us, every strong temple needs a powerful and a beautiful shield to be able to protect it from the daily storms of life. This brings us to our third and final pillar.
Yes, our final pillar is the one that protects the entire structure from the daily damage of inflammation and of oxidative stress. This is pillar number 3, the protecting pillar. And our champion foods for this important pillar are the beautiful and the mighty walnuts, almonds, and pumpkin seeds. And for my patient, the gentleman who was eating all of the protein but had no fuel, he was also completely missing this vital protection. His muscles were not only tired, they were also inflamed from his daily activities, and they were not recovering properly at night.
And these wonderful nuts and seeds provide a complete and a very powerful protection package for our legs. Let's look at the beautiful science of this. Let's start with the walnut. What is its special protective gift?
The beautiful walnut is the true master of the anti-inflammatory fats.
That is right. As we have discussed in many of our videos, walnuts are our best and most potent nut source of the plant-based ALA omega-3 fatty acids. And these are powerful anti-inflammatory fats that help to protect our muscles from the chronic low-grade inflammation that is a primary and a very powerful driver of sarcopenia. And what about the almond? What is its unique protective gift?
The almond provides a different and a very beautiful kind of protection for the body.
It does. Almonds are one of our richest and most wonderful sources of the fat-soluble antioxidant vitamin E. The primary and most important job of vitamin E in the body is to protect the delicate fatty membranes that surround all of our cells and especially our muscle cells from the daily damage of oxidative stress. You can think of it as providing a powerful anti-rust shield for all of your muscles. And finally, Dr. the humble pumpkin seed.
The pumpkin seed provides 2 of the most important minerals for muscle protection.
It does. As we know, it is an absolute powerhouse of the master relaxation mineral mixture and magnesium, which is so essential for preventing those painful cramps and for allowing our muscles to be able to properly recover after a long day of work. But it is also a very rich and a very important source of the mineral zinc. And zinc is absolutely critical for our body's own natural tissue repair and for a healthy and a very resilient immune system. So, doctor, to bring our entire three-pillar blueprint together for our viewers, can you please show us how to build a simple and a delicious meal that contains all three of these pillars on one single plate?
Of course, it is a very simple and a very beautiful meal. For your dinner, you can have a beautiful 3 to 4 ounce piece of a baked salmon. That is your rebuilding pillar. On the side, you will have a small and a delicious portion of a roasted sweet potato. That is your fueling pillar, and next to that, you will have a large and a very beautiful dark green salad. And on top of that salad, you will sprinkle a small and a very satisfying handful of our beautiful walnuts and our pumpkin seeds. And your salad dressing will be made with a beautiful olive oil. That is your protecting pillar. With this one simple and delicious meal, you are providing your legs with everything that they need to be strong.
And doctor, what was the final result for your patient? The man who was only focused on the protein pillar.
This was the beautiful and the very successful conclusion to his story. The man who was only focused on pillar number 1 learned how to build a complete and a very beautiful 3-pillar plate for himself every single day by finally adding the clean fuel from the beautiful sweet potatoes and the powerful protection from the wonderful nuts and seeds to his diet. His legs finally had everything that they needed to be able to heal and to grow strong. His deep weakness and his chronic fatigue finally disappeared. He had finally built a strong and a very stable temple for his health.
That is a truly beautiful and a blessed story. It is a powerful reminder that true and lasting strength is found not in one single thing, but in the wise and the harmonious combination of all of the different and wonderful healing gifts that nature has so generously provided for us. Doctor, this has been a truly profound and a revolutionary guide to building strength. You have taught us that to truly fight back against sarcopenia, we cannot just focus on one single thing. We must build a beautiful and a strong temple for our health, supported by the 3 essential pillars. Your 3 pillars of leg strength is a complete and a very holistic approach to senior health. We have learned that we need the rebuilding pillar from protein, the fueling pillar from healthy carbohydrates, and the protecting pillar from our wonderful nuts and seeds. By building all 3 of these pillars, our viewers can take a direct and a very powerful step to reclaiming their leg strength. This knowledge is a true cornerstone of a proactive strategy to prevent sarcopenia. It is a practical food first way to fight back against the weakness that so many seniors fear and to rebuild the very foundation of their leg strength. Now, doctor, your 3-pillar blueprint is a life-changing way of thinking. For our viewers at home who are ready to start building their own temple of strength today, what is the most important and the wisest first step that they can take this week?
That is a wonderful and a very important question. The journey must always begin with a single gentle step. I will give you a simple 3-part action plan for your first week. First, you must begin with a gentle audit. For the next 1 or 2 days, I do not want you to change anything. I simply want you to become the architect of your own temple. I want you to look at your daily plate and to ask yourself, which of the 3 pillars is the weakest for me? Are you missing the protein? Are you afraid to eat the healthy carbohydrates? Are you forgetting the healing fats and the important minerals? You must first know which pillar needs the most support. Second, for the rest of the week, you will add one food from your weakest pillar. You must not try to change everything all at once. Your only job for this week is to add one of the beautiful foods that we have discussed. If you are missing the fuel, you will add a small and delicious sweet potato to your dinner. If you are missing the protection, you will add a small handful of beautiful walnuts to your salad. Just one small and very gentle change. And third, and this is the most important step of all, you must listen to your body's response with great kindness. How do your legs feel at the end of the day? Do they feel a little bit more energetic? Do they feel a little less sore? Let this beautiful and positive feeling be your greatest guide. Health is not built with force. It is built with patience and with loving attention.
That is a perfect and a very gentle way to begin this important journey.
I want to leave you with this one final thought. You must not just feed your muscles. You must also fuel them, and you must protect them. When all three of these beautiful pillars are strong, your foundation will be unshakable, and your freedom will be secure.
That is a beautiful message, Doctor. It's a wonderful reminder to be good stewards of our health by providing a complete and a blessed nourishment for our bodies, and not just focusing on one single part. And of course, it is absolutely essential that you speak with your personal doctor or a registered dietitian before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you have any existing health conditions. Please remember that our conversation today is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for the direct medical advice from your own trusted physician. If you found this guide empowering and it gave you a new and a complete way to think about your strength, please give this video a like so that others can find this vital information. And be sure to share it with a friend or a family member who you want to help stay strong. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It is completely free and it ensures you will not miss our next practical health guide. And for our community discussion today, we would love to know which of the three pillars of leg strength, the rebuilding, the fueling, or the protecting pillar, do you need to add to your plate? Please share your first step in the comments below. Thank you for being with us. Be well.